Atlanta Places. What's going on around us? The places, the people, and the experience. Michael Bull is a commercial real estate expert. He has helped guide the success of companies and investors in Atlanta for 30 years. April Phelan is a true Georgia peach. She has her finger on the pulse of what's fun around Atlanta. Join Michael and April as they open doors to the best places around Atlanta to live, work, dine, shop, and play.
Mixed-use developments become very popular all over Atlanta, and not just for people who want to shop or eat. I had the opportunity to sit down with John Beasley with Wakefield Beasley. They're one of the chief architects here at Avalon. They built some great projects, including Avalon, SunTrust Park here in Atlanta. They have a large office. I had the opportunity to ask John what it's like to have his office here at Avalon.
Office rents here are considered top of the market for Metro Atlanta, even downtown Buckhead, Midtown. Is that part of the draw to have your office here, to be able to walk downstairs and walk out and have this experience right here?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an intangible, but it's palpable. I mean, you can feel the interest in people coming to visit us, potential clients, existing clients, staff, visitors. You can just feel it. I mean, they love the ambiance here.
What was it like to start with a clean slate like this and be able to create a mixed-use environment that was not urban, that didn't have the confines of an urban location? Because you're out here in Alpharetta. Did it just open the world to do what you wanted?
It did. It was a big palette. I mean, it wasn't a tight, confined urban space. We could spread our wings and do some things that wouldn't be possible on tighter urban sites.
And what's new here that maybe hasn't been done before, or hasn't been done much around the country?
You know, I think having an anchor grocer like Whole Foods at that level, I mean, that's the best of the best. Having that kind of tenant, quality tenant, was probably one of the big draws to other tenants, smaller shops and merchants and restaurants. Knowing that Whole Foods is going in here, that just said volumes about what huge companies thought about this development, this type of development, and specifically this location.
And when you were designing this space here at Avalon, did you take into consideration the difference demographically of this Alpharetta suburban location, or is suburban location, versus most infill type of mixed-use developments?
Yes, absolutely. North American did their homework and studied the demographics within 3 miles, 5 miles, 10 miles, and realized this is a winner. This site is prime for this kind of project.
Yeah.
And this mix of tenants.
What is your advice to business leaders who are running companies who are considering having an office in a mixed-use development?
I would strongly suggest they consider that, because having the ability to walk and not crank up 6,000 pounds of steel to go get a burger is something that is so incredibly important to millennials. And I mean, a lot of millennials don't even want to own a car at all. So having walkability is really important.
Now you have the hotel that's going to open here and convention center. How does that work and help this entire development?
Well, you know, that's been a big void in the overall metro of Alpharetta area in the first place. So it is absolutely filling a blank that Alpharetta can now check the box. Yes, we have convention capabilities now, and that's what's so important.
And the timing of that in the second phase, was some of that because those operators kind of wanted to see the place and see it happening, and then notice the hotel and convention center wasn't part of phase one.
It was not a part of phase one, and I think it was a matter that was public-private partnership doing that. Alpharetta's contributed quite a bit of money to the development of that hotel, so I think it just took a long time to work out the details. Not only that, with the second phase coming online with additional retail, additional restaurants, additional apartments, that made it more obvious that that was the right time to start the hotel. Also, the hotel is located at the far east end of the property, so there would have been a big void of nothingness from the end of phase one to the hotel had they started.
Because that's where you thought it should be.
Yes.
And was part of that to be closer to Georgia 400?
Somewhat. That was important to the hotel company.
Anything that has surprised people that have come to visit Avalon and looked at your design and looked at how this place works that may have surprised them?
You know, they say that it feels comfortable, and that's just, it's hard to describe comfort, but people feel safe, they feel energized, they're interested. People who may not even want to go into a certain shop, they just see the front and they see the people walking by and talking and cars moving in and out of the parallel spaces like on the main boulevard, and seeing the activity that makes them want to go inside and just kind of walk around.
Yeah.
One of the merchants that I go to quite often, because I'm a fisherman, is Orvis. And I'm always amazed when I'm in there, and I'm in there a lot, especially when they have a sale sign on the window. People will just come in just to see what Orvis is. They're not sure, they don't know, but they're interested in the name and in the design of the storefront. And so they just come in the door, and they may just walk around a little bit and walk out, but I see that quite often.
What would be your tip to developers who want to create something like Avalon somewhere in the world?
Study the demographics. Find the right site, location, location, location. Get tired of saying that, but some people come to us with an idea for a mixed-use project, and there's no need, there's no use, there's no demand. No. We'll help them through that process and maybe encourage them to consider other things, other types of projects, maybe a lifestyle center or something different. No enclosed malls. Those are dead, those are gone. I don't see those coming back, but who knows? This runs in cycles. Study the demographics. Again, you can't do that enough, really. Determine the average income. Rooftops will drive decisions for merchants to come to locations. The mix of tenants is really important. The original developer for this site was after really high-end tenants. Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth Avenue, Brooks Brothers. I shouldn't have said that. Brooks Brothers is moving into phase 2 here at Avalon. But tenants in that echelon. Just a different approach. But North American did their demographic search more diligently, and consequently they wound up with just a great mix of tenants.
Well, you guys have created a great experience here and a great project. Thanks for showing it to us.
My pleasure.
Thanks for joining us on Atlanta Places TV. We'd love to hear from you. So stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel, our email list, and iTunes. And be sure to connect with us on social media.